Is this working? Yes. Well, good morning. Good morning. What a beautiful welcome here to everybody and everybody online. And please silence your cell phones. Today we have Reverend Shara with us again. She's going to be concluding her series on embodied spirituality. Lynn Wood is also here today to do a meditation. Our musical guest is Kenneth Perrin.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back, Kenneth.
Kenny! He knew who he was.
Oh, there is an I in there. I see it now. There's a lot going on here at Unity over the next few months. Shara will give us more information today about a collaboration with Richard Rohr's Living School. And on Saturday, June 7th, is the Spring Renewal Retreat with Craig Stephen Phillips and sitar musician Nick Young and Mary Jean Haas. Much more information is available at the information table today. So let's stand for a congregational song.
Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a-flowing if I just keep a-knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a-rolling if I just keep a-knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Take my own sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Good morning. My name is Jack Ragland, and I'm here as a prayer chaplain. It is my honor today to start the service by first lighting the Christ candle and then reading the daily word. I light the Christ candle as a symbol of the Christ consciousness which is in each and every one of us, guiding, showing the way, and expressing the love of God as each of us. The word for today is comforted. The affirmation, I am comforted, knowing God's presence is a blessing, now and always. The biblical reference comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 13. Sing for joy, O heavens, and exult, O earth. Break forth, O mountains, into singing. For the Lord has comforted his people and will have compassion on his suffering ones. There are times I mourn the loss of a loved one, or perhaps the loss of something I treasure. I am thankful when those around me acknowledge my loss and comfort me by expressing care and concern. It may not completely alleviate my pain, but their efforts do lift my mood, even if only for a short while. I also recognize the tender, loving presence of God that is always within and around me. Which enables me to persevere even in the face of loss. God's comfort is for everyone. The light, love, peace, and comfort of the divine bless all those who are feeling the pain of loss, loneliness, and grief. I pray that the love and care of God flow through me to comfort those who grieve.
Thank you, Jack. Good morning, Unity of Tustin. Happy Sunday. Good morning online on this beautiful, beautiful day in the gardens. And this Memorial Day weekend, we bring forward that comfort of God, that comfort of spirit, that comfort of living love. And I think there's no better representation of that living love than this meditation garden, this sacred grounds that we're on right now. So take a breath and breathe it in. From the birds to the mechanical bird to all of the glory here. You know, one of my most favorite Unity of Tustin memories is my first year here. I would drive in every month. And I didn't know what a jacaranda was. And I drive in one time, and I'm coming in after a 12-hour drive, and I see on these side streets these amazing trees with these amazing purple blossoms. And I'm like, I need to go down that road and look at that tree because I've never seen a tree so amazing. But I'm like, oh, it's been 12 hours. Let me just get home to Unity of Tustin. And I drive in, and we have two of our own. And that Sunday, I co-led with Carl Anthony and stood here, doing service. The tent wasn't quite like this, being pelted with jacaranda blossoms the whole time. And I can well up with tears thinking about it. It's just this beautiful moment. So we're going to be talking about vision today and embodiment and the territory and the map. And this garden is the embodiment, the territory of a vision of what God can look like, made manifest as nature. And this is it. So let's breathe this in. And I invite you to close your eyes or keep them open and gaze at the beauty all around us for this prayer. And this prayer is that we attune to the holiness of this space right here, right now. And honor all of the vision and souls and lives and work and sweat and money and dedication that went into taking a lovely but simple orange grove and transforming it into a sanctuary that feeds our spiritual heart each and every time we come onto this campus or even just bring it forward in imagination. And let's be grateful for the legacy that this beauty brings. And may we see the world as the living love that does pelt us with jacaranda blossoms. And know that God is in all things, and that we come together to remember the truth of who we are, what matters most, and to feel it in community, in beauty together. And for this and so much more, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen. And let us now move forward with a transformational story. As you know, just about every month we have a community member come up and talk about their spiritual journey, and in particular, how our community makes such a difference in our individual lives. We can forget why and how we matter, and how we matter in such a profound way to so many of us. And I'm particularly excited to invite up Diane Kastner, because she's also new. So it's an opportunity for some of you to get to know her better, but also an opportunity to see what a difference we make in the lives of people who are newer to our community and come and are enriched by the very sacred medicine we all provide. So, Diane, please come and share your heart, your love, and your story with us.
Good morning, Unity of Tustin. So nice to be here today. My favorite place in the world is these gardens. So I didn't even know we were going to be out here, but what a blessing. Oh, so great. Anyway, thank you so much for asking me to share a little bit about myself and how it's been to be a new arrival here at Tustin, Unity of Tustin, and it's just been fantastic. Okay, a little bit about myself. I was born in Newport Beach, where growing up we did everything beach and ocean. And if you asked us to climb a tree, we probably had a few in the neighborhood, but not many that learned how to do that. So it had its pluses and minuses. I was brought up in the Catholic Church, and around age 9, I looked around the church and I said to myself, where is God in all of this? At that time, they were doing the services in Latin, and you had to go to and I just didn't see it. And so my siblings and I had a pact that we were going to ride our bikes to church from now on, and instead of making it in the door, we made it to the candy store, and that kind of became a little bit of our religion for a while. Not proud of it. Anywho, many years later, I met my husband to be at a yoga school. We were both avid, taking a lot of classes, and we'd see each other, and we got together, and next month we'll celebrate 45 years together. Thank you. And I don't count many things, but I had to kind of go like, yeah, okay. Let's see, in the early days, we put on backpacks and circled the globe together, chasing surf and adventure, and then settled down, bought a house in Costa Mesa, and had 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. They're both grown now, and I'm very fortunate to have 2 amazing grandbabies. And I'm getting the opportunity to spend a lot of time with them, and I'm loving it. It's like having spirit right in front of you, manifest. And then, since my mid-teens, my spiritual background has been steeped in Eastern philosophy and meditation. Together with my husband, we also spent many years engaged in a myriad of personal growth seminars, and both as participants and facilitators. And while always never leaving our first love of Eastern philosophy and meditation. I worked, ladybug, right on the mic. I I worked in many differing fields over these many years, and I spent about 14 years at the Waldorf School in Costa Mesa as their director of community outreach. My children were soon to graduate from that school, and my parents asked if I would run the family business, which meant giving up all the things I had been doing and now managing shopping centers, which I took it on as kind of this challenge, and I'll show my siblings I'm the only one that can do this. I'm the only one with that work ethic and, all these things. When I look back in retrospect, it was setting myself up for a pretty big fall. I did that for a couple of decades, and the good news is that I did yield a much higher income stream for the family, and again, the personal price was paid. After years of pushing myself to the limit, I had successfully come to a conclusion where it was like my husband had been in retirement for a number of years, and he said, "Come on, let's retire together." So I was like, "Okay." And I experienced a string of days that lacked color, lacked passion, and most surprisingly, I experienced a string of really dark days. I looked around my newly freed up world of retirement only to see how few human interactions and connections I had really developed over the years, how few good friends I had, and how little effort I'd put into outside interests. And while barreling along deep in my work, I thought everything was fine. After coming to this extremely disturbing conclusion, I was confiding in a former colleague, and she encouraged me to find a hobby, take a class, find a good volunteer position that would provide some sense of fulfillment, all that stuff. And then she blurted out, "Have you ever checked out any of the New Thought churches?" And I told her I'd always envied the passion and the social opportunities a church community could provide. And the problem was I could only subscribe to about 40% of a Western church's beliefs. And certainly no church would allow me to speak of Eastern philosophy or, God forbid, meditation. So a church option did not look promising. She said, "The Unity Church is very all-encompassing." I asked her to clarify, and she said, "Unity of Tustin purports one God, many paths." That alone blew my mind. She explained how they offered many book studies, workshops, volunteer opportunities, etc. I quickly studied the church's website, and I really liked what I read. It was a Sunday in late December 2024, and I attended my first Sunday service. Craig Stephen Phillips led the service, and I was enraptured by what I heard and very fortunate to arrive on this particular day, as there was more to come after service. I felt compelled to stay on that day for the 4-hour workshop that followed the service. All of it was very deep. All of it was aligned with my beliefs. I felt a new peace and a new exhilaration. The smiling people I met that day were so much like me. They had all done the work, and they were more than willing to go within. I knew I was home. I came back the following week, and I have just kept coming back. It is only as I prepared this talk did I realize that from that first day at Unity, the dark days left me. I was able to find a church community with deep passion, deep spiritual integrity, and loving, truly caring people. I so appreciate the ministerial team as each offers a unique perspective and flavor to the lessons and sermons. Char is filled with love, depth, zeal, and is perhaps one of the finest communicators I have ever met. Reverend Blair is lighthearted, steeped in wisdom, and brings pure light to all he touches. Craig Stephen Phillips is undoubtedly rooted in spirit and conveys a deep peace, wisdom, and a place of refuge to both the weary and avid meditator alike. I feel perfectly comfortable sharing my Eastern philosophical roots and my love of meditation here. The focus on bringing the light from within to express fully in the outer world is where much of my next work appears to reside. The Unity ideals align well with my ideals. The Unity beliefs align well with my beliefs. I'll give it one second. I keep thinking something will come up that I may not agree with, but not so. I have truly grown in appreciation of how New Thought views the teachings from Christianity as Jesus, how New Thought of the New Thought views the teachings from Christianity as Jesus purported. And on a side, I would fare even a little better if biblical writing would take a tad more modern phrasing. Alas, I digress. I have so appreciated all of the book studies, the volunteer opportunities, the friends I have made, and the depth of conversations, the amazing music each Sunday, the deep emphasis on prayer, and the sacredness of the sanctuary and that of the glorious gardens. As a former literature major, I love to unpack books, and I have loved more than anything the 5 spirit groups I have been privileged to be part of, 2 groups of which I have had the privilege to facilitate. The first time I co-facilitated on the book, The Eye of the Storm, Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace, which was a fabulous book I highly recommend. And currently we're working on Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. And it's been fantastic as well. The spirit groups have allowed me to really get to know other church members on a far deeper level. We learn and we grow together. Unity has brought a new perspective on life, a playground where we can all practice what we learn together. We do not have to be perfect, just striving to express our true divinity. Unity has given new light to a very dark point in my life. It has provided much needed meaning and purpose. I hope to be a prayer chaplain one day. I am finding a deep well of peace in the Wednesday night meditations with Craig Stephen Phillips. I am so impressed by the Sunday supper volunteer opportunities. I love everyone and everything about Unity. I look forward to many new adventures and learning opportunities here at Unity. Thank you all for your graciousness and commitment to spiritual growth. In you, I have found a very welcome home. Blessings to you all.
In myself, I felt the Lord was afraid to try once more. That fire in my soul had fled. That's when God came and said, my spirit gets the strength you need to raise you up and to succeed, and for vision in the night to you I'll give eternal life. Trust me, my child, I'm with you always. I feel every pain and every tear I see. Trust me, my child, I'm with you always. I know how to care for what belongs to child, don't look behind. Discouragement is all you'll find. Don't watch the waves that roll the sea, but just focus your eyes on me, and I will make you strong, and then your shattered courage I will mend. And if you fall and should get hurt, remember these eternal words. Trust me, my child, I'm with you always. I feel everything and every tear I see. Trust me, my child, I'm with you always. I know how to care for what belongs to me.
Thank you, Kenneth and Carol. Okay, so Diane, I see you weren't prepared for the wind. I had clips. I was going to be like, I have clips. So wonderful to be here today. And over the past 4 or 5 Sundays that I've been with you, we've been on quite a journey, really exploring on what it means to live an embodied spirituality. Because we've discovered that too often, spirituality has been understood as transcending the body, rather than also including it. And not only including it, but even working through it. Holy pause. We'll take many of those. So just look around. But as we've learned, the Christ story, or really the story of any authentic spiritual awakening, includes embodiment. Our tradition is about the divine taking human form, the experience of human joy and suffering, and transforming that into love and wholeness and meaning and joy and expanded expressions of spirit, rather than something to escape or bypass. We talked about how unity's very foundation rests on physical embodiment and healing. Remember our co-founder Myrtle Fillmore's declaration, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." And she was rejecting the belief that divine wholeness was not embodied. And she claimed this for her physical form. And that was very revolutionary. And that's the origins of our movement. And then we explored the difference between the map and the territory, where the territory is our actual lived experience of this sacred life force. And the map is the concepts, the dogmas, the rules we have about the territory. And this can be very helpful. But the problem comes when we mistake the map for the territory. It's like convincing myself I've been on the road to Hana because I memorized the guidebook. And some religions prioritize the map so much that we actually start to lose the actual experience for transformation. But that's not our lineage. You know, as Jesus said, the Sabbath was made for humans, not humans for the Sabbath. So whenever there is a need to serve embodied life, embodied holiness, that is what takes priority, not the map. It's not the other way around. So this really brings us to something crucial. When we truly start to embody the territory, when we're actually living from that place of divine connection, we're also called to act. You know, it's action and contemplation. And for too long in spiritual circles, we've been creating a false dichotomy of being versus doing, surrender versus striving. And we've often treated the doing and striving like dirty little words. And they can be when the doing and the striving comes from ego. But when we grow in spiritual community and capacity, and we start to disidentify from that ego, then our capacity to act becomes a sacred duty. It becomes our responsibility. And we have to move into that holy striving, the holy will, the holy doing, the holy action, and the holy waiting. So we talked about embodied spiritual leaders that put this into action, like Gandhi and MLK and Jesus. And these are leaders who did not go with the flow and simply surrender and would have given up their mission should it have not gone easy. In fact, there was deep striving. And it shows that we need this integration of focused action with deep listening, action and contemplation, the map and the territory, the masculine and the feminine, and their transgendered integration. We need all of it. But here's the key. If we're going to truly be light bearers and embody this holy striving, how do we know if it's coming from my will or if it's coming from thy will? So we did talk about how the body helps us with this through our attunement process, through wholeness, through resonance, through different systems. However, we also need holy vision. Holy vision is also what helps us move into action that we can trust is transcending the ego. And this comes from Scripture, because Scripture tells us where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And let's be honest, we're not really being inspired by tremendous vision these days. There's not a whole lot of inspiring vision in politics or in the medical system or in our dominant culture. There's something lacking that we are being called to bring forward. And when we catch a vision, when we catch a real vision, when we are in that field of infinite possibilities, the possibility becomes hope. And the hope becomes faith, and the faith becomes conviction. It becomes knowing. It becomes vision itself. And suddenly we don't need that authority outside ourselves. We get our power back, and we're connected to something transcendent that gives us strength and courage to live and bring forward the new story. Because this is what we're being called to do, is to bring forward the new story. We're not here to save the world. Michael Beckwith says, why do we want to save the world of racism and xenophobia and homophobia and all of the isms? We're here to bring forward the new world, the new story, with part of a higher order of being, and to midwife that so we can bring this through inspired action. And unity, our unity roots, we've always understood this. In our teachings of the 12 powers, we recognize imagination as one of the fundamental spiritual faculties we possess. So our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, taught that imagination is our workshop for the mind. Imagination is our blueprint for the mind, and it's the power that shapes substance into form. A couple of years ago, right here, I put Play-Doh through the different shapes to get different manifestations. And the different shape is that blueprint of imagination. And if we have a thought of all possibilities, that's what substance is going to manifest at. And if we have a thought of limited possibilities, that's what substance is going to manifest as. So we can't be it if we can't see it. The power of our imagination shapes substance into form, and it's not fantasy or wishful thinking. It's the faculty through which divine mind creates. And when we activate our power of imagination in alignment with wisdom rather than ego, we become co-creators with the infinite. So this is our birthright. We can literally imagine new worlds, new stories. And this is why vision is so crucial. It's imagination in its highest form, connected to the sacred, seeing not just what is, but what's seeking to emerge, what's seeking to be born anew, what's seeking to come forward, that's filled with hope and possibility and the more beautiful world that we know is possible. And this is what we're doing in our We Space groups. We're not praying from what we know, from what is. We pray from source, and we bring forward what wants to be known, what is emerging, what is evolving, what is coming forward as new medicine for these times. And when we combine this visioning power with embodiment, we just don't dream of a better world. We become the living bridge that allows it to manifest. We move from, wouldn't it be nice if the world was more like this, to feel it emerging through me, or in this stage of our development, emerging through we, through us, and guiding our next aligned action. So how can we imagine a new, bigger vision that's wanting to emerge? What is happening that can bring us out of the stuckness of polarization and so much distress so many of us feel as a result? And I'm going to kind of provide a few glimpses of what's stirring in collective consciousness, including here at Unity of Tustin. So first, there's a radical reimagining of governance itself. Lots of conversations are going on that are deeply inspiring. So I mentioned this very briefly, but Ecuador made history in 2008 by becoming the first nation to recognize the rights of nature. They declared Pachamama, Mother Earth. They declared that she has inherent rights to exist and regenerate. Rivers, mountains, ecosystems can now be represented in court when threatened. And this isn't just legal innovation, it's a return to indigenous wisdom that truly sees us, that truly sees humans as part of nature and not separate from it, where that map and the territory are one. And imagine if that consciousness spread globally, and it is. So this is what it looks like in practice. This caught on and spread to New Zealand. And after 140 years of legal battles, the Wanganui River was granted legal personhood in 2017. So the Maori people have always known the river as their ancestor, saying, I am the river and the river is me. And now they have the government in partnership to advocate for the river's well-being. So recently, when a company wanted to build a development that would have damaged the riverbanks, the river itself, through its representatives, took them to court and won. And the judge essentially said, you cannot harm this being, this living river, for unsustainable profit. So imagine that consciousness spreading. Imagine the Santa Ana River having legal standing. Or imagine our children and our grandchildren growing up in a world where harming nature for unsustainable profit is as unthinkable as harming a person. So that's not fantasy. It's already happening. It's the new story that's being written. One story at a time, one relationship at a time, one consciousness at a time, when we start to evolve and feel, embody our oneness as me, as we, as all of creation. It creates a different reality. And another kind of brief little plug new story relationship, and if you want, I will come to talk about this in depth from 1 to 1:30 in the sanctuary, is, as many of you know, I graduated from Richard Rohr's inaugural living school in 2015. And it went through a few iterations, very beautiful programming, but very map-centric. Map that blows your mind, but map-centric. We didn't do much work in the territory. And the Center for Action and Contemplation started to realize that this was a deficit of the programming because we weren't embodying the wisdom that then we can bring forward and show up in our own life. So the staff went through a pause, put the program on pause, and recreated it as the essentials for engaged contemplation. And it was launched last year, and I was a backup guide, which meant I just took the class, got paid for it, and was there on hand in case someone got sick. It was really quite wonderful. But as I'm learning this, I had a vision. My vision was, our spiritual communities all over the country need modern, good, effective, expansive, heart-opening, embodied spiritual programming. A lot of the programming and curricula we have is dated and don't quite meet the relevancy of our needs, and yet it's too big of an ask for each small community to come up with something like that on our own. So I said, why don't we consider having me prototype it with Unity of Tustin, where if people want to take the year-long course, they can, but instead of only doing it online, we'll also have weekly sessions where we watch the material in person, we talk about it together, and we connect in community while doing the program that both brings forward the maps and the territory with us. And after a bunch of talking, I just got the green light, and we are going to pioneer this for the first time in this country. And if it works, it can be scaled out to other spiritual communities. So if you are interested in an in-depth one-year program with this new Essentials for Engaged Contemplation course with our colleagues here, please meet me after service. I was told there's a limit of 500 people, and it's already up to 150 in the first week. So we have to get in there for those 500. We need at least 7. We already have 3. And So if you're interested, I'll show you how to sign up, and I ask you to sign up sooner rather than later, so we can make this happen. So that's just something on our scale. But we're also looking at how this new story is developing across the planet right now. And I think it's important. I think it's important we all research what is emerging so we have something to sink our teeth into that can bring hope alive when we're feeling distressed. And I'm going to kind of outline some real movements, and we're a part of them, that are inspiring. They're awe-inspiring. They're revolutionary new systems that are pointing humanity towards our next evolutionary leap. And we, our unity communities, we are uniquely positioned to be the catalysts to manifest these new stories into reality. So we have the meta-modern and game B movements that are showing us how to move beyond the win-lose dynamics of our current civilization, what they call game A, into omni-win systems, game B, where everyone and everything thrives together. And this is powered by collective intelligence, the we, the interbeing, our organism, and economics that are anti-rivalrous, where one person's success enhances rather than diminishes others. And this is what we've been practicing as Win for All, one of the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, and also the direct knowing that we are practicing with we consciousness and our mystical connection to God that we cultivate here at Unity of Tustin through our participatory spirituality and spiritual practice. There's also integral theory and spiral dynamics that we study here. And this maps humanity's developmental journey, and it reveals how we are evolving in complexity, and we're moving towards something, and we're moving towards something good. And with complexity, new things, capacities come online that didn't exist before that can bring us to more wholeness. And it envisions ways that honors all levels of development by transcending and including the best in all that is. And we work to manifest that here at Unity of Tustin. Charles Eisenstein's sacred economics is dismantling the story of separation that drives systems of extraction from Earth that are not replenishable or sustainable, and replaces it with regenerative economics based on the gift economy and our fundamental interbeing with all of life. And this is compatible with Thich Nhat Hanh, interbeing, inter-R, inter-we, and that sense of us coming forward together, connected in an embodied sensory way with our oneness as part of living creation on Earth. Ubuntu philosophy from Africa brings forward the worldview, I am because we are. And this is a worldview that's becoming a global ethic of community-centered governance and restorative justice. The indigenous resurgence and neo-shamanic global healing movements are bringing back 7th-generation thinking, where every decision is made considering its impact on 7 generations into the future. And as many of you know, there is an explosive ceremony and plant medicine renaissance where more and more people are engaging in intentional medicinal journeys to have an experience of God and the transcendent that is embodied, and that we can know the transcendent is real. I can't tell you how many younger people I have come across, and they find out I'm a minister, and they tell me that they were die-hard atheists until they had their medicine journey. And they experienced spirit. They experienced the transcendent. And they know, like they know God is real, and there is no going back to atheism. So this is an incredible opportunity to bring forward collective spiritual awareness that wants to come forward but hasn't quite been able to express in other ways. The conscious evolution movement integrates science and consciousness, and this is Unity's foundations. We were ahead of the game. Our co-founders were all about integrating science and consciousness. This is emphasized in our basic Unity teachings, and it helps us recognize that consciousness itself is fundamental to the cosmos, and that we are literally the universe becoming aware of itself, evolving to support this new story, this new one life. There's so many more I can go on. Biomimicry and living systems design talk about how human systems can be based on nature and the ecosystems. We talk about mycelium networks and how there's this underground fungal network that nature communicates with each other, and we can do the same. That swarm intelligence and collective decision making. Planetary consciousness initiatives talk about Earth as a single living system requiring unified care. Global meditation prayer networks are creating coherent fields, planetary healing through collective intention, and understanding that our invisible intention can help change and reshape the world. And world federations based on universal human rights, global governance serving all beings, not just human, and cosmic citizenship replacing nationalism. So just breathe that in for a moment. Like, this is what is emerging. We may not see it on the 24-hour news channels, but these types of movements are very alive. And today, I leave for Hungary to go to the European Integral Conference, which is all about bringing together the people who are thinking in these new ways and are working to scale them with technology, with economy, with AI, with all different systems, so it can be scaled and make a difference on a global level. So there is a lot going on that is very exciting, that is very hope-inspiring. And some of it is becoming political. There's many new political organizations on a global scale that is looking to articulate this vision and to bring it forward. And they all share the same meta vision. They're integrating unity with magnificent diversity. They're marrying ancient wisdom with cutting-edge innovation, operating regeneratively rather than extractively, looking to scale these worldviews in systems of economy, technology, and governance, and recognize that we're just not witnessing social change, we're becoming it. We're participating in a species-led metamorphosis where humanity awakens to its cosmic responsibility as conscious stewards of Earth's sacred life. And we do this as a microcosm here. This community exists because of generosity, because of giving of our time, talent, and treasures, because of vision and commitment to maintain nature and its beauty. We are living this here. And we and our Unity communities are perfectly designed to midwife this great emergence, because we understand that transformation happens not through forcing new ideas, but creating the inner and outer conditions where awakened awareness can naturally express itself. And that is what we're doing here. That is our why. So, one of the movements that I've liked is called Singularity. And this is a transnational political party innovating radically new approaches to government, leadership, and power, working towards awakened planetary governments by 2050 and exploring new forms of governments that source themselves in the earth as one individual and sacred life. So the idea is it's governance enacted by beings who have transcended the illusion of separation and who are really serving from a recognition of our fundamental unity. So this is the question, like, can we imagine political decisions flowing from reverence from all life? Can we imagine diversity celebrated as divine expression and earth honored as our sacred home? So they invite us to do this brief meditation that I'll have you do here right now in this beautiful garden to get a sense of the consciousness that we cultivate, that is starting to scale, that we are infusing in our leaders for tomorrow who can bring this forward as the root and organizing principle for how we do governance collectively. So I invite you to take a breath and feel your body and connect to your heart. And now imagine yourself at the core of the earth, your heart one with the planet's core. And through your heart, sense the vast power and magnetic fields pouring out from the center, allowing all life to exist here. From this place, you can take in the whole planet, all its life spheres at once. And feel them now as incredibly diverse fields of activity, yet all expressions of one indivisible and sacred life. Life, the most precious resource on the planet. Now sense yourself there as a representative of this one humanity, of this one earth. Take a moment to tune into our major challenges. Polarization, wars, climate crisis, economic disruption, mental health crisis, migration. But stay connected to that living, loving core at the same time. And with your one heart with the planet, feel the unified life power of all of creation, of divine intelligence, of living love, of what we call the Christ. And align your will with what is most life-giving for the one earth and our one humanity and our one creation. And feel into how you are called to show up. And now a final contemplation. How is this different to how political decisions are normally made today? And that this is the consciousness from which they will be being made from more and more. It is here, it is time, and it is happening now. And this is the promise of embodied spirituality. We can know our own body, we can know the body of our shared humanity, and we can know the body of Earth. And when we align our will with what's most life-giving, we make radically different decisions. We do the next indicated thing where we are living the new story, where we are demonstrating divinity right here in our own lives, right here at Unity of Tustin, and increasingly more and more in our greater world. So small groups like us matter. Small groups vibing in coherence around love carry more amplitude and power than masses operating from separation. A single thought emanating from oneness is more powerful than thousands from to vision. We need to articulate it and live it and embody it and emanate it. And it has a power. And this isn't spiritual bypassing, this is spiritual physics. We're not imposing the new story through force. We're embodying it until it becomes holy striving, married with holy vision, outpicturing as the beloved community, right here and right now, as us. So here is my invitation, my challenge, my vision, my prayer for us. Let's be those midwives of the new story. Let's continue to do that work. Let's ask the empowering questions. What good is trying to emerge through our community right now? What good is trying to emerge through your life right now? What gift are we here to give, especially in these times? Let's live in these questions until they reorganize our nervous systems, our relationships, our ways of being, and our capacity to vision and demonstrate the more beautiful world we all know is possible and that we are making manifest right here, right now. And this expanded life-based consciousness will increasingly begin to seed itself in us and in our youth, because ultimately, power aligned with life serves life. And power separated from life destroys life. And we here, we come together to be reminded that we are choosing life. The future isn't something we create, but something we allow to emerge through us when we remember who we truly are. And we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the body of Christ. We are that living love. We are the hands and feet of the divine in the world. And we are doing our white stone work of demonstrating divinity. We are action and contemplation. We are the map and the territory. We are the future. We are embodied vision. So let's take this into song in this beautiful sacred meditation garden with more music from Kenneth, and then followed with a blessing or another wonderful meditation from Lynn Wood. Lynn, thank you so much for your willingness to share your embodied vision with us these last several weeks. And let's be it. We've got to see it to be it, and let's do both. God bless. Let's hear from you, Kenneth and Carol.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moment of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones. It stirs my heart, it stirs my mind, and of every prayer I've known. I say, breathe. Just breathe. Now breathe. This peace. Oh, this inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it would never push you, it will break down every wall. So I say, breathe. Just breathe. Now breathe. This peace. This inner space invites us to renew. And all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to this inner space. It never knows the past. In a quiet place you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. So I say, breathe. Just breathe. Now breathe. This peace. Of this inner space.
Thank you, Kenny. That was beautiful. So the inner space, and today I want to invite you to bring the outer space into the inner space. So as I have been listening to Shara, we have a lot going on in our minds, and maybe we're excited about a lot of things she said. And so we're going to work a little bit on visioning and bringing the outer space into the inner space. I was listening to the planes go by and noticing, really paying attention to them, that they sometimes have a whistle along with them. Sometimes it's a little more distant from where we are, that you just feel it more in the background. Sometimes it's really powerful as it zooms over us. And I was kind of seeing it as turning a page each time a plane came over, and rather than resisting the noise or waiting for it to be gone so that we could get back to what we really want to be with, if we actually invite everything that's here. There was some lawn equipment going on earlier. If you listen right now, you can hear water. You can hear the ocean of cars that's going by. So I was really thinking about also the nature. A lot of times, there's a big emphasis now on forest bathing, and some of you have done that. we go into nature and maybe we receive the energy from the trees and let it wash over us. And I'm wondering if we ever think about letting the trees see us. You know, really let the tree or the nature see us and greet us. Did anybody ever read that book, The Giving Tree? Yeah, it's kind of like that the tree, the green, the lavender from the jacaranda tree, you can take it in, but it can also give to you. It can see you. So I invite you to use your imagination. Some of us are better at visualizing, but some of us are better at sensing and feeling kinesthetically in our bodies. But to actually invite any of the sounds here, and the nature here, there's roots here, there's scraggly branches that needed to be pruned off maybe, there's new branches springing out. You can attach to or connect to any part of nature that's in this garden and bring it into your body for what's needed. Maybe there's something that needs to be pruned out inside of you, something that needs to be washed over with the water, something that's springing new. So I invite you to send your roots down now through the ground, and if you want to take your shoes off, go ahead, if it's easy. Send your roots down, 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 deep into the earth. Send them down from your heart, visualizing your heart with roots coming down from your heart, all the way down, 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 down into the earth, to the very center of the earth, the crystalline core of the earth, the heart of the earth. And wrap those roots around the heart like a hug, as though your roots are hugging the earth's core, the heart of the earth. And then as you're anchored there in the ground and connected to the earth, let's let the plane turn a page. And as that energy can wash over you, let it somehow increase the power in you, in your energy field, to clear something. So as planes go by during this meditation, allow the planes to clear. And so I'm just inviting you to be in the active life, sounds, color, freshness, weeds, light, sun of the garden. And with the next 2 minutes, you have all the time you need to be renewed. And whatever needs to happen inside, in your body, in your heart, in your soul. and the power in contrast to the gentleness. Allow both. And your breath and the breeze, they are the same. And now, if your eyes are closed, you can start to gradually open them, still feeling that connection with the earth. I invite you to take this with you, and any time you're outside, you can be more fully connected to the outside and to yourselves as not only part of nature, but that you are nature. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. My name is Mary Jean Hawes. I'm filling in today for Maricela, and this is the time when we welcome our first or second time visitors. We have a flower for you, and we have a card that we ask you to fill out so we can stay connected with you, put you on our mailing list. If you're willing, if you're here for the first or second time and you're willing to raise your hand, let us know who you are. Welcome. Unity of Tustin is part of the unity movement of 650 churches around the world, and we are a spiritual community, not religious. If you want to know more about what that means, you can ask me afterward. You've come to unity at a particularly fertile time. In the months of June and July, we're going to be hosting a number of different events to help transform your spirituality. We talk here about transformation, not just listening to me up here or Shara or anyone, but actually an inner transformation where you know the divine is within you. On June 7th, we're going to be hosting a retreat from 10:30 in and out. From 10:30 to 3:30 with Craig and Nick Young, the sitar musician, and myself. It's an opportunity to really develop your meditation practice. On June 16th, we're having the quantum living process begins. And on June 22nd, we're hosting, I think, someone who embodies a lot of the qualities that we need to talk more about. If you have a vision yourself, or you're maybe at a point in your life when you are feeling like, I need to do something different. I feel a call, but I don't know what I feel a call to. Tama Keeves is going to be here, and she's going to do a talk at 11 and then an afternoon presentation, which is really about removing all the blocks to you actualizing your true self. If you have more questions, we have the welcome table back there. And please join us for hospitality. They're getting ready today, setting up. I've been told that Unity of Tustin has an exceptional hospitality. So please join us today. And now we've come to the time of our love offerings. Most of us give love offerings now, not by today's donation, but online. And we, as a staff member here, we especially appreciate these recurring donations during summer, because that's a time when people often are away and we can't rely on that weekly giving. So if you want to know how to set up a recurring donation, you can come to the welcome table, and Amanda or I will help you with that. And so, Shara, did you want to add something?
Sure, I really think an antidote for our times is living into the new story and seeing how it's flourishing in the world, and in particular, seeing how it's flourishing here and making a difference in our life, and like Diane Kastner's story, and what it really means to be doing what we do. And we do it only because we all choose to give of our finances to support this harmony, this beauty, these jacarandas, and this life force that supports life force. So we are incredibly grateful for your generosity and your giving, because that's what makes the new story possible as us. So with great gratitude for that, let us affirm our love offering blessing together. Divine love, as we blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive in love and joy and gratitude. Thank you so much. And now let us be blessed with another song from Kenneth and Carol.
All right, join in with us if you feel the need to. Here we go. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Up on the mountain, my Lord spoke. Out of his mouth came fire and smoke. Looked all around me, looked all fine. I asked the Lord, could it all be mine? Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Oh, I have sorrow, I have woe, and now I have heartache here below. But while God leads me, I shall not fear, for I am sheltered by his care. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit, there you go, moving in my heart, I will pray. One more time, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.
So before we close, John Claude reminded me that I didn't mention the prayer chaplains and the Reiki practitioners who are waiting right over there to pray with you, to do Reiki with you, if that's your preference. Unity is a church based on prayer and meditation, so please take advantage of this sacred practice that we have. So let's close our service with the prayer for protection, which is on the front of your bulletin, in case you don't know it by heart. So that surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go forth and have a vision.